Hi, I'm Sam with Grocery Coupon Network, and today I want to talk to you about how to save money on organic meat. Now, if you've seen some of the movies and documentaries that are out about meat practices and what goes on at farms, meat can be a little scary, and that's something that happened to me a couple of years ago, and I just decided that my family was going to eat organic meat because it was important to me, even though the cost was a little more expensive. And being a couponer and a savings specialist, I wanted to find ways that I could save on organic meat. So I wanted to share a few of those with you today and tell you about what I do to save on organic meat because it's definitely something that I want to have for my family. And even though it costs a little bit more, I want to factor it into our grocery budget and be able to do it. So these are the ways that I found to be able to do it on a limited budget. So my first suggestion is, as always, watch for sales. This whole chicken was a one-day sale at Whole Foods, and it's an organic chicken. It's grass-fed, and it's not a big chicken, which most organic stuff is a little smaller than you're used to if you've been buying conventional meat, but it was $1.99 a pound. That's a great deal for a whole chicken that is organic, local, and grass-fed. So my first suggestion is to watch for sales at stores that sell organic meat. And Whole Foods has these occasionally. A while back I bought some roasts that were the same type of thing, one-day sale. Before that, some salmon. So be on the lookout for these sales. If you sign up for their newsletter, or any organic store's newsletter. It doesn't have to be Whole Foods, somewhere where you know your meat source and you feel good about it and you're okay with buying it. You'll get notification when they have sales like this. My second suggestion is to buy meat from a local farmer if you live in an area where this is possible. I live in Chicago. It's a big urban city. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of farms in the city. And so we have a wonderful opportunity to work with who we call our meat guy. And that is a man who comes from Iowa. The name of the farm is Wallace Farms. You order your meat ahead of time and he drives a refrigerator truck into the city and you pick what you want and then you pick it up on the given date. So that has been a fantastic way for us to get good meat at a good price, be able to order a week ahead or so and know what we're getting. So that's where we get our ground beef, and this ground turkey is also through them. Very reasonable. This ground turkey costs $4. Sometimes you can't even get non-organic turkey for that price. The ground beef, I think, is around $5. Everything is in 1 pound increments, just like you would buy in the store, so it makes it easy for storage and to just pull it out and cook with it. And Wallace Farms will also offer deals on deal sites. So that's actually how I first started using them, was they had a deal on, I think, family fines where you got $40 of meat for $20 that you paid to buy the certificate. So look for deal site deals on farms like that, offering something like that in your area. Also, farmers markets. If you have a farmers market, you can talk to a meat farmer, so beef or pork or chicken or turkey or whatever, about what you can get, either buying in bulk or buying directly from them. You might get a little discount because packaging is different, advertising costs are different than big stores. So look for local farmers that sell meat at your farmer's market. Along with that, you may want to consider buying part of an animal, like a side of a cow, a half of a cow. And that's a whole interesting process, and it varies pretty greatly depending on where you are, the availability, what farm you're working with. But generally, you pay a processing fee, and then you get all the meat from one half of the cow if you're sharing it with someone else, or maybe even a whole cow if you have the freezer space and would like to do that. But it brings the meat cost down a ton. I think when I looked into it a couple years ago doing it here, it was about $6 to $8 a pound, and that's for all types of meat, steaks, ground beef, everything, and it can be even lower depending on your farmer and where you live. In Ohio, that varies, which is where I grew up, and they have different prices, and you can do the same thing. So look where you live and see what the price would be to do that if you have the storage space and can buy that much meat at once, because you will have to store it. My other tip is to eat less meat. Meatless Monday is a big thing, and so go vegetarian for a day and you're going to save on your meat costs for the week. Also, there are some rare coupons that come out for meat. Be on the lookout for them, and you can use them at stores like Whole Foods or other stores that carry organic meat. And one big thing for me is just knowing where the meat comes from. So if you're interested in that, ask your butcher. Go to a local butcher in your neighborhood or in your city or town. Ask them, where are you getting the meat from? They'll tell you. They'll be honest. They have to. So if you feel comfortable with their practices and where it's coming from, you may be okay with buying non-organic meat. If the farm's nearby and you know that it's a good farm and the people running it have the standards that you would want for your meat, you may be okay buying non-organic, and you can get that a lesser price because they don't have to pay for the organic certification. So these are the ways that I save on meat for my family. And if you want to follow Grocery Coupon Network, we always post like the one-day sales I mentioned at Whole Foods and the deals going on or any coupons that are available. So that's a great way to stay on top of when you can get meat at a discount. One other tip I have is if you go to a local butcher or develop a relationship with a butcher, you could ask for a bulk discount. Say you're going to buy 6 pounds of ground beef. You could say, if I buy this much, will you give it to me at a lower price? Whole Foods, with their meat, specific ones, if you buy over 3 pounds, you get a discount off the regular price. So what I do sometimes is if ground beef, say, is on sale, and it's on sale for $3.99, I'll ask if I buy a bigger amount if I can get a discount, and they'll give it to me. And they'll only do it in the bulk package. So when I get home, I use my vacuum sealer to separate it all out in 1 pound increments, and then it's ready to go in the freezer. So I'll have it when I'm ready to use it and can just pull out that 1 pound increment instead of the huge big brick of meat. So these are my tips for saving on meat, and hopefully they're helpful.